Grace to you. So I thought I could weigh in on this feud between Daily Wire and Steven Crowder. I was actually listening to both videos by Steven Crowder. I think it's 28 minutes, and then also by Jeremy, the co-CEO or the co-founder of Daily Wire. So I thought maybe I could weigh in on that. But before we start, can we please, there's a link in the description below. If you would like to support the channel, you can buy me coffee. You can decide to buy 1, 2, or even more. Another way to support the channel is to hit the subscribe button, so that we can get to 1,000 subscribers and have this channel monetized. Another option is to like the video, so subscribing and liking the video, so that YouTube, by liking, you help YouTube to recommend this video to many people, right? Okay, so apparently Steven, so I'll just call him Crowder, apologies if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. So he was leaving the Blaze, and okay, just to put this out there, I didn't know this guy until now. Apparently he's a conservative and one of the biggest, so he's bigger than Ben Shapiro. According, I think he's almost 6 million subscribers, so which makes him bigger than Ben Shapiro, because I think Ben Shapiro is around 5. So this guy was part of the Blaze. I didn't know him before, but he's one of the biggest conservative commentators. So he was leaving the Blaze, and I think he started getting into talks with the Daily Wire about him moving to the Daily Wire, right, to be part of the Daily Wire. And then the Daily Wire made him an offer. So when Jeremy speaks about this, he says it was a non-binding offer, like a non-binding agreement, which means no one was bound by it. So it was more like a starter, more like snacks before the meal itself. So, which is, this guy didn't like the terms of it, or the terms they were offering, and then he counter offered, right? And then, don't know, I think Daily Wire must have been unable to meet those terms or anything like that, but the negotiations never went through, because according to Jeremy, they could have went back and forth negotiating the terms. So this is what also Candice said, that this is how it happened between her and Daily Wire, that she negotiated, right? Her lawyers would be like, okay, no, we don't like this, it must go out. And then Daily Wire would be like, okay, we also don't like that, so it must go out. So it kept on doing that back and forth until they reached a agreement where they were like, okay, this is what we can offer you, Candice. And Candice was like, okay, I can accept this, right? So they expected with the guy as well to go the same way, to go down the same way, right? But apparently apparently Daily Wire decided that they were not going to make the offer for some reasons, that they could not meet his demands. So that was last year, right? And Jeremy said, rather than for him to hear it from the lawyers, because he was his friend, so he decided that he was going to call him himself and just announce the news to him. And Jeremy said Steven was much more grateful that Jeremy actually called him himself. So I think recently, I think it was just here in January, when Steven called again regarding the offer, and they started talking. Let me just say he made communication, because I don't know how he contacted. I just forgot how he made contact. So let me just say that he made contact with them. And yeah, I think he revived the offer, but he was still now expressing his dissatisfaction with the offer. So in the sense that he was like, okay, no, you guys should have offered me more, or something along those lines, right? And then Jeremy, can't really remember what Jeremy responded and said. Yeah, but anyway. So now I think Steven started a channel called, I think it's called stopbigcorn.com, but I know it just has big corn on it. Yeah, so he started that website, not channel, sorry, he started that website. So he said his intention is to get petitions to stop these companies from conning people, right? And he said he's going to walk into these buildings once he gets the number I don't know what number he's targeting, but once he gets the right numbers, he's going to walk into these corporations and start demanding that employees should be treated fairly, right? Yeah, so that's the plan. He plans to do so. He even accused the Daily Wire of being in bed with big tech, right? Even being far worse than big tech, because one of the terms in the contract was that if your channel get demonetized, or maybe there's a protest or a boycott, and then he's boycotted, and then the channel is taken down. So if it's not fixed within the next, I think it said 90 days, right, then there will be a cut in percentage on the revenue, on the money that he will get, because the company is losing, so he must lose as well. So he didn't like those terms. So he said that kind of provision or a term in the contract catered for the left. That, okay, no, the left is doing the right job, something along those lines. That, okay, it sounded like Daily Wire was saying, we will do the job for the left, right? So that was just that. And I think this is just another, don't know how to put it, but I mean, I feel like it was an unnecessary fight, one that could have been avoided by both parties. But now it has ended where it is. And the worldview here is that, so according to Stephen, the worldview here is that even the conservative corporations, the ones that are fighting against leftist and all its abuses, is also maybe going down the route of conning people. So that's why Stop Big Con website, right, was started. It's more like a movement. So the worldview is there that we're going to stop even the conservative ones from exploiting their employees, right? I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you've watched up until the end of the video. So if you like then the video, can you please click the like button? If you love the content in this channel, please click the subscribe button. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description below to buy me coffee. The coffee is just $5. You can decide to contribute more than that. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.